Awesome. Thanks so much, Mariana. I think we are live and ready to go. I am so excited to see all of the contestants present here today. How should we kick this off, Mariana?
I would like to first, come to the stage with me. Let's just organize this a bit. I would like to thank everyone to be here with us. Um, we had this 3-week long hackathon with 485 hackers part of work, and today is all about showcasing the best projects that are creating new composable interop experience for the Ethereum ecosystem. My name is Mariana. I'm leading ecosystem growth here at Espresso. Wheat is leading the product marketing as well, and we both are guiding us through this session here. And whether things went smoothly or we hit some roadblocks, just getting to this point is a big win. So congrats to everyone that are here with us and that made through like this 21 days that we passed through. Quick recap on Build and Brew. So we had 485 builders, 2 tracks, caffeinated code and cracking composability. We had 5 prize pools, so opportunities to everyone, things from who deployed their own rollup and learned a little bit more about rollup tech stack infrastructure, for who went beyond and started building like composable applications with or open intents framework or using Espresso or just talking with the partners and trying to figure out a way of solving one of the Ethereum's big problem and goal roadmap. We had 3 live stream sessions, summing up almost 12,000 views across open ceremony, technical workshops, the open intent space. We had, in the end, 156 projects submitted among the 2 tracks and almost 100 new Orbit chains deployed in testnet and mainnet. Here, just few of our images on some of the sessions we had. But also we can't do this alone. So I really would like to thank all the partners who joined us to make this hackathon to happen. Thanks to Hyperlane, Off-Chain Labs, Across, AWS, Bootnode, OpenZeppelin, Infura, from who just supported with like office hours, with the bounty prize, with the technical workshops, being here as a judge. We really appreciate everyone's support on this. And now I'm gonna pass to it to really receive all the select amount of judges that you bring here to be connected with the hackers and support the growth and contribute to their history as well.
Yes, awesome. We certainly couldn't do it without the judges. We have an all-star lineup here, and we are going to, I'm not going to introduce everyone, but I'm going to ask all the judges who are to just give a quick intro, just their name, the project that they are, represent, and then also just, one line about what they're excited about, today, as far as like whether it's the hackathon or, the types of projects that they're expecting to see, or about composability in general. So starting with the judges on stage, I'm gonna have to rotate them through, given so only so many people could be on stage at once. So let's, Jill, do you want to start?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, everyone. And thanks for your patience today. My name is Jill Gunter. I'm so excited to see what's coming here. I think composability is one of the biggest problems to solve in crypto in general, and certainly in the Ethereum ecosystem. So just thrilled to have that many more people building on this problem as of today. I'm one of the co-founders at Espresso, and I'll hand it over to Vishnu.
Hey folks, great to meet. I'm Vishnu. I lead Arbitrum Orbit at Off-Chain Labs. I am really, really excited about hyper-customized, purpose-built chains, all interoperating together, all leveraging each other's composability. So excited about Espresso building that future.
Awesome. Thank you, Vishnu. How about Matt next?
Cool. Hi, everyone. I'm Matt. I'm the co-founder of Caldera. We help people launch their own customizable, dedicated chains using top rollup stacks. I'm just excited about like seeing all these projects broadly. In my experience, like hackathons are always where like kind of new ideas are often built, oftentimes very consumer-facing ideas, which I think there is kind of like a dearth of in crypto. So excited to dive in.
Absolutely, yeah. Parker, want to follow up?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm Matt Souther, co-founder of Caldera. I also do roll-up stuff. And what I'm excited about, I think, especially for Espresso, is I think that there are a lot of just kind of big crypto economic security wins to be gained just by like using Espresso. A lot of projects kind of trust in like soft confirmations, but ideally with Espresso, very, very shortly, people should be able to use like something better than that. And I'm excited to kind of like see that happening.
Awesome. Hey, Jordan, how about you? I don't know. Hopefully you heard me. Just introduce yourself and quick what you're excited about. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm Jordan. I've been in the crypto Web3 space since 2018. Started out in the tokenization space. Spent about 2.5 years at Coinbase. All primarily focused on building 0 to 1 go-to-market motion, sales, partnerships. And so what I'm really excited about here with the hackathon is seeing these new projects that are going to make the usability of crypto and Web3 easier, so that the app builders, the folks that are building the use cases that are going to bring in the billions of users over the next 5-10 years can actually build that technology. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. And then Sina, I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce your name, from Hyperlane. Are you there? All right, let me start. Let's pull on some other people. I'm going to take the judges who are on off now. And do some new intros. All right, how about, oh, we need to add, there you go. All right, Yana, do you want to go and intro yourself?
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yana. I am head of strategy at the Rari Foundation. So we work on behalf of the Rari DAO that governs the Rarible protocol and also the Rari chain. So the Rari chain was the first Arbitrum orbit to go live on mainnet and also the first chain to fully integrate with Espresso. So we're very excited about the possibilities that are being unlocked with this faster finality and in general unifying Ethereum on the level of interoperability. So very excited to see the projects that will come out of the hackathon today. Kind of echo what Matt was saying with the fact that hackathons are kind of like the birth of the new ideas, and it's always really refreshing to see what projects are thinking of. And you never know, sometimes a big idea can come out of a hackathon exercise and potentially a next big project. So very excited to see what the teams have to present here.
Thank you so much. All right, how about Kanish, are you there? Next.
Yes, sir, I am.
Awesome.
Hey, everyone. Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Kanishk. I am a DevRel at Cross. It is my focus to make sure that hackers win, no matter what they try to build and no matter which ecosystem they try to build in. I've been in this space for about 5 years now, and I've been through a lot of cycles. And my focus has always been making and building developer communities, and of course, trying to contribute to softwares and chains that scale. I'm extremely excited to see hackers build on ERC 7683, and of course, the Open Intents framework. Seeing how they can shuffle tokens and liquidity across their rollups on Espresso and even across the chains they support and believe in. So yeah, that's what I'm excited to see and excited to kick this off. Thank you for having me.
All right, Amrit, how about you?
Hi, this is Amrit. I handle operations at Allclear. We are a RAS service, so we do all sorts of things with rollups. Of course, we closely work with Espresso and also Arbitrum Orbit for people who want to have either Orbit or the combination of both of them. I'm excited about here one because I do feel like sometimes people, when talk about composability, they always talk about we have to move assets around and things like that. But I think there's a lot more beyond that. It brings committees together. It makes users be able to give them access to apps that are otherwise not available on the chain. And so I'm looking forward to what people build with that specific context in mind.
Awesome. All right. Well, we have a few more espresso people on the judging panel. Ellie, Jean, and Sneh, can you each do a quick intro?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm Ellie. I'm the head of R&D at Espresso, and yeah, I'm very interested in fast but secure interop. I hand it off to Jean.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Jean. I'm software engineer at Espresso Systems. For all the hackers, you've probably seen me all around in the workshops, on the Discords, in the office hours. So I'll just keep it short. I'm just very excited to see what you all managed to build after these 3 weeks of hardcore coding and stuff like that. So yeah, very exciting to see which kind of boundaries you pushed throughout the last weeks and what you guys actually built in the end.
Awesome. Sneh?
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Sneh. I'm currently leading Nitro integrations at Espresso, and I'm just excited about the builder energy. We all know it's a bear market right now, and we all are still here, so that's just something to be excited about. So yeah, excited about what you all are going to build.
Awesome. And I'm not sure. I think we're having a little bit of technical, or Sina from Hyperlane is having a bit of technical difficulty, but he hopefully will be able to join us in a bit. But otherwise, let's get started. And when he joins, we can get him up on stage. But I believe he's head of security at Hyperlane. We are so this is. Do you want to go ahead on judging criteria, Mariana?
No, you can go. We just say for us to keep moving, and and then we can start going to the next slides.
Yeah. So, I mean, judging criteria, I think is really simple. Technical quality is going to be, the biggest, factor here. Kind of 40% of the scores based on this. Just how efficient the code is, how robust the integration is. Originality is going to play a big part, obviously. Like how innovative this is. How, as it says, pushing composability forward, and then practical impact, like how significant is the actual impact in solving fragmentation and improving user experience. And then there's a 10% is just the wow factor, right? Which can often be important for apps like we're going to be seeing today. So let's move on and let's get this party started.
Thank you, Ed. So I think we got the recap on the hackathon. We met the judges. Thank you everyone for all the intro and to share what you're most excited about. And now we're gonna start kicking off the presentations. Just few guidelines here for everyone to be aware. Every project will have up to 7 minutes to present. We're gonna be able to make 2 questions after, so judges feel free to just drop questions or just raise your hands like, I have a question for this project. We're gonna bring you to the stage. Right now, we're gonna remove all the judges from the stage. It's just gonna be the presenter and his presentation, after which we're gonna be coming up and down. We will announce each team. Please, all hackers that are here with us, stay within your time limit. If you finish early, good, we move straight to the questions. And just a quick reminder that the final results will be announced on the 10th April. So don't expect no announcements today. We're gonna be sharing our social medias on Discord and everywhere. The order of the presentations that we're gonna follow is in this list: Caér, Affogato, Espresso Place, Espresso Stellar, Java Bridge, Buy Me an Espresso, Disburse Network, crosschain, Random Network, GTX, Tachyon Pe, and Buy Me an Espresso II. So just, you can see we have 2 projects named Buy Me an Espresso. So please judge, make sure when you're evaluating, you know which one you're evaluating. One is from Perry presenting, and the other one, I forgot who is presenting, but you're gonna meet later.
Patrick.
Patrick. So again, thanks to all cross-chain builders. Happy pitching. Good luck to everyone. And we can bring the first project to the stage, that is Caér, this next generation lending borrowing protocol that enable cross-chain interactions using Espresso under the hood. So please wait. Make sure that Goza is on the stage and he has everything to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yeah.
Hear you, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
Are you able to
quickly
share
share
your
my
screen?
screen. Yeah. Wait.
While he's while Goza's doing that, while Goza's getting ready to share his screen, I will just mention that there is a POAP for people attending. We'll be providing a secret code that you'll be able to enter in your POAP app a little bit later. So pay attention and watch out for that. All right, so Mariano, should me and you get remove ourselves from? Okay, cool. All right, take it away, Goza.
Now. Yeah. Okay. Happy to start it. Okay, let's go. Hello, everyone. My name is Goza. Welcome to Caér, the first innovation by Espresso ecosystem, cross-chain lending and borrowing via Espresso integration. Okay, next. Cross-chain is perfect and exciting. So why the lending protocol isn't here yet? Because it's too complicated. Most of people bridging their asset using private key, not securely, slowly, and that's it too much. Cross-chain lending protocol should be easy and provided as the internet. So we have Vision evolved into a cutting-edge cross-chain lending protocol, natively integrated with Arbitrum-Orbit chains and Espresso shared sequencing layer, redefining interoperability and scalability in DeFi. So what is Caér? Caér is a cutting-edge lending and borrowing protocol designed for seamless cross-chain functionality via Espresso integration. By leveraging next-generation interoperability and application-specific sequencer, Caér ensures efficient data verification across multiple chains. And how about the ASS? Caér uses ASS for secure and efficient cross-chain lending. Unlike general-purpose sequencers, it's tailored for collateral checks and transaction processing. With Espresso Finality, it ensures instant confirmation, prevent unauthorized actions, and improve speed and security. So the problem in other DeFi protocols, the first one is isolated liquidity pools. This possible users to borrow assets while limiting the risk to only that specific pool or market. And the second one is security risk in cross-chain transactions. And the third one is bootstrap challenges in new chains deployment, and then slow and inefficient liquidation cross-chain. This issue often stems from the complexity and latency of communication between chains, especially when using bridges. And then the last one is fragmented liquidity. So here's the solution and comparative analysis of lending and borrowing platform. The first one is cross-chain support. Caér allows borrowing on one chain and lending on another, unlike others limited to a single blockchain. And then interoperability. Caér uses a custom message passing protocol for seamless cross-chain operations, while others require manual bridging, adding user complexity. And then security and finality. Caér leverages Espresso confirmation for secure and efficient transactions. Others face risks like liquidation delays and Oracle issues. And then the next one is efficiency and speed. Caér offers optimized cross-chain messaging, whereas others rely on slow manual bridging. And then, the next one is bootstrap in new chains, such as easier plug-and-play deployment on new rollup with effortless. And this is the Caér feature roadmap. In the future, we will need add more chain and then cross-chain looping, and then become a native lending protocol on Arbitrum-Orbit and Espresso, and then will be apply ZK settlement on ASS. And the next one is partnership with Rollup as Service and become the lending protocol for all Arbitrum-Orbit. And the last one, lending infra for modular rollups. So how it works? Here's the diagram for cross-chain lending and borrowing. Firstly, access the Caér app on the Arbitrum Sepole network. This connects to the ASS with Espresso Finality and the solver. Espresso Validator ensures secure, transparent, and efficient transactions, while the solver handles payment, checks, and execution. Espresso then finalizes the process, transferring the asset to the Tachyon network. Additionally, with unified liquidity, Espresso can launch new lending protocols on new chains without needing to bootstrapping liquidity. So this is the Caér collateral trade diagram. You can deposit your collateral. After that, you have to make the position to unlock the trade privilege and just go trade the collateral to secure the liquidation. It proposes to securing your assets to prevent the liquidation with your strategy. So this is the demo application. Firstly, you have to make sure that you have it on Arbitrum Sepolia and Tachyon. And yeah, connect your wallet. Okay. Claim your token in faucets. If you want to more deep dive using Caér, sign transaction, and check your wallet. And yeah, wrap it has increased on my wallet. Let's go to borrow page and create the position. This purpose to trade your collateral, and then supply wrap it become as collateral. Approve the transaction, sign the transaction, approve, and then sign the transaction. And let's check it. And yeah, the collateral has been successful added. After that, I'll try to borrow USDC, and I want the USDC transferred into Tachyon Network. And yep, got a missing recipient. You have to fill the recipient address and sign the transaction. So let's check my wallet. So yeah, 200 USDC on Tachyon Network had increased, and the crosschain lending borrowing had running very smoothly. And then the additional features. If you had made the position before, you can trade your collateral assets. I will try to trade my collateral, let's say 0.1W8, swap to USDC, and approve the transaction, sign the transaction, and then the USDC that I swap, it will be fulfilled in the position. So yeah, 181 USDC had increased in my position. So guys, join the Caér social media. They are on X, Instagram, and this is the email. So this is of the Caér team. There are Axel, Goza, Ahmad, Wildan. Okay, I want to say big thanks for Espresso and audience, especially for Espresso for organizing and providing the Build and Brew Espresso Global Hackathon. It is very well organized and make this project possible. Well, yeah, I think almost reaching 7 minutes. So this is the future of cross-chain lending protocol. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you, Goza. Thank you for your time. The first person who raised the hand to make your questions is Ellie, our head of research. So Ellie, if you want to go ahead and make him the question.
Yeah, no, it's a great presentation. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about the purpose of app-specific sequencing in your design.
Sorry, can you repeat it again?
Yeah, could you talk about the purpose of app-specific sequencing in your design?
Okay, the ASS is to make the communication for Espresso for the solver and the Espresso and the solver. I mean like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Awesome. We're going to bring Jill up. She also has a question. Oh, sorry.
I've read her before.
I would love to hear how you think about the importance of lending. You know, one of the things that we are thinking about as judges is the impact. And so why did you choose to focus on lending as opposed to, you know, a decentralized exchange or any of the other areas of DeFi? Thanks.
Okay. As you can see, most of all DeFi protocols, we have made new innovation about the your collateral. It's can to trade with your strategy to, I mean like to safely your assets to prevent the liquidation. And yeah, this is our innovation bring it for the Espresso. And then for the future, we will be applied the zkVM for the ASS. I mean, the impact is like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Goza. Thanks so much for the presentation, answering our questions. I'm going to bring back the slide here just so we can go to the next presenter. So we're going to have Affogato now, and Affogato is going to showcase us a swap plus bridge solver system operating over 3 espresso roll-ups. And yeah, happy to have Hardik here with us. Hardik also supported a lot of in our Discord. And yeah, the stage is yours.
Perfect. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, perfect. Hey, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Espresso. It's an intent-based cross-chain swap secured by Espresso Finality. So the problem it's trying to solve is basically cross-rollup bridging is pretty broken today. We really only have two options. Either you can bridge via the parent chain or go through either a centralized or some sort of optimistic relayer. Native bridge via parent chains is obviously pretty bad. It's not bad. It's just very slow. Where, for example, if you want to go from something like Arbitrum to Optimism, go from Arbitrum to ETH, wait 7 days, then go from ETH to Optimism, wait another probably like 20 to 30 minutes, and it's just really, really slow to do this. Secondly, we have obviously like centralized or optimistic relayers. So this works pretty fast. You can get funds within a few seconds, but most of these solutions today rely on centralized sequencer confirmations, and there's like some open questions or like some tricky situations you can end up in. And for example, what happens if there's a reorg on Arbitrum, or what happens if the sequencer doesn't end up submitting that transaction in its next batch to Ethereum? And the solvers or fillers who are sort of looking at this intent hub and filling these orders based on sequencer confirmations, they can lose funds if the sequencer misbehaves for whatever reason. So Espresso obviously here provides a confirmation layer that guarantees the sequencer will necessarily post the batch to its parent chain. So we have like a pretty strong inclusion and finality pre-conf that we're getting from the rollup, and based on this, enter Affogato. So Affogato as a system, what it is it's 3 rollups, all of which are use Arbitrum Sepolia as the parent chain. The 3 rollups are named after Starbucks cup sizes, by the way. So there's Tall, Grande, and Venti. And for each rollup, we have I have a Nitro node that's running. I've open intent framework contracts that have been deployed to each of them, Hyperlane contracts that have been deployed to each of them, and then a caffeinated node, which is the Espresso pre-conf node that's running for each of the rollups as well. Then on top, I have this custom filler and rebalancer that I built that I'm running as well. That's looking at the CAF nodes for each of the 3 chains, and there's the Hyperlane relayer that I'm running that's also passing messages back and forth to 3 chains, and then a UI I made just to make everything simple. So the idea with Affogato is that users can cross-chain swap or bridge between any 2 rollups in a matter of seconds with pretty strong security guarantees. So for example, if we're going ETH to USDC from Tall to Grande, you open an order to sell ETH on Tall. Espresso provides a pre-conf for this transaction through like the Tall CAF node. The filler is looking at this pre-conf, is looking at the CAF node. It finds the pre-conf and fills the order on Grande, giving the user their USDC. Then they initiate a settlement process for this transaction on Grande, saying, I've filled this order. Espresso will provide a pre-conf for the settlement transaction on Grande, and the Hyperlane relayer is also listening to the CAF nodes, and it looks at this pre-conf and relays a message back to Tall, and eventually the order is marked filled on Tall, and the filler receives their ETH. So, and also if necessary, the filler will initiate a rebalancing process. So just to expand on that a little bit, periodically, like let's say if the filler starts off with like 0.25 ETH and 100 USDC on each rollup, eventually as the intents come in, as it does swaps and stuff like that, it may end up with a heavily biased bag of tokens on one rollup and very few tokens on the other. So the way I have it set up right now is once every hour, it's going to run a background job to figure out if a token balance is below a certain threshold on any one of the chains, and if it is, then it will go through the native parent chain bridge route to actually rebalance tokens across the 3 chains. And I've enabled like fast withdrawals in my case at least, so it doesn't take 7 days. But either way, in a more production setting, you would probably use some sort of clearing layer like Everclear or something over here. to make it a little bit faster as well. Anyway, jumping into the demo, you can go try it yourself at affogato.harddisk.dev. You do have to bridge ETH over to the rollups. You can find instructions for that in the README later. But for now, let's say it's a pretty simple UI. So currently, you can see I have like balances on 3 chains, like my balances and then the filler's balances. So currently, I have like some amount of ETH across all the 3 rollups. I don't have USDC on Tall. I have like little USDC on the other 2. And the filler is maintaining an inventory of tokens across all 3 rollups. The price of swapping between ETH to USDC is very fake here. It's hard-coded to 1 ETH equals 2 USDC, just because it's testnet and limited testnet tokens. But what I'm going to show you is, let's say we go 0.01 ETH. Let's go from Grande. So currently have 0.29 roughly on there. And we're going to go get some USDC on Tall, which currently I have 0 USDC on Tall. So if I just do a swap, oops, did I select the wrong wallet? Hold on. Live demos, am I right? Okay. Grande, USDC on Tall. Swap. There we go. Cool. Sign this. So what's going to happen is, I create the order on the origin chain, and we can actually look at this. If I head over to, this is my filler logs that are coming through. There we go. So you can see it's got an open event on Affogato Grande, filled the order on Tall. So if I go back, so yeah, I filled the order on the destination chain, initiated a settlement transaction, and then Hyperlane looked at the pre-conf of the settlement transaction, and we can look at Hyperlane logs here as well. It's a bit old. Let me fetch new ones. There we go. So there you go. So yeah, it relayed a message. It observed a message coming from observed a message from Tall to Grande, the opposite direction, and then relayed it over there. So this is done. And if I close, you can see 0.01 ETH got deducted from here, and I have a little bit of USDC on Tall now. Going back. Yeah, if you want to check out the code or other information, it's all open source on GitHub over here. I kept this one short because we only had a few minutes to present, but happy to answer any questions now if you have some.
That's great. Thank you so much, Hardik. We do have questions. Let me bring to the stage here Ellie and Connie from Cross. Let me bring Wheat again as well. Whoever wants to go first. Connie, do you want to start?
Hi, Hardik. Good presentation and a really, really good project. The design you created, it sort of begs for its own implementation of ERC 763. Specifically, that's a contract that can talk between Espresso rollups. Do you want to shed some light on how you may have worked on your own implementation of ERC 7683 and how it is helping this particular design?
Yeah, so the 7683 contracts, I didn't really change them from what the Open Intents framework gave me. What I did change was the filler mainly. So like the way I've designed my filler is it works everything, it does everything based off of like pre-confs coming from Espresso. And then the Hyperlane relayer is also set up in a way where it only works off of pre-confs coming from Espresso instead of the regular Nitro nodes. But the contracts are just the standard OIF contracts. I didn't change anything in there.
Understood. Cool. Thank you.
Also, huge shout out to Across for co-authoring that standard. Love that.
All right, my question is about kind of your use of Hyperlane. So I was wondering, did you use like the default ISM of Hyperlane, or did you adjust it for your own? Like, how did you change, Hyperlane to be able to use the Espresso confirmations versus, what it does today by default?
So it does use the trusted ISM setup right now. It's a single signer, specific private key right now. It's not, looking at a validator set of any sort. But the way it works is for the CAF node, it was relatively simple where I just pointed to the RPC of the CAF node, and the CAF node only, it's like fetching events from the CAF node basically. And if the CAF node finds a transaction, it's reading from Hotshot. So if the CAF node has the transaction or has the events in the first place, that means it got them from Hotshot, which means there's the Espresso confirmation there.
All right, perfect. Thanks.
If no one has any other question, I'm just gonna bring here the slide back. And now we have Espresso Place with Shivang. So Espresso Place is this fast, low-cost Layer 2 pixel canvas that aims to import communities to create, collaborate, and on-chain together in real time. Shivang, we would like to hear a little bit more what you built and how you built it. I'm gonna just leave your space to present.
There you go. You got your screen. There it is. All right. All right, take it away.
Hi everyone. Can you confirm that am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you fine. Though your screen that you're sharing is not your slides. I'm seeing the StreamYard Studio. So
Yeah. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yep, I can hear you fine. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. There are your slides.
So let's
go. All right.
Yeah. So hi everyone. I'm Shivang, co-founder of Espresso Place, a real-time collaborative pixel canvas built on custom layer 2 on Arbitrum Orbit. So I will begin with a simple question. How do communities in Web3 express themselves in today? So you might say through NFT projects, DAOs, or also maybe social tokens. But here is the thing. These all still feels very transactional. There is still a place missing where user can express, create, collaborate on something common and build something tangible on chain. And here is the missing piece that I want to showcase to you. Consider a simple example. All DAOs need people who can contribute in their decision making. So how can someone contribute in decision making if they are not communicating with each other? So that's why communities were born. But again, what's the point of community if people are not coming on a common ground to build something, express and create something tangible and with complete ownership? So similarly to the Reddit's R place, which was fleeting, monetized and centralized by Reddit. So if we could create something similar on Web3 as well, but control it, evolve it, and own it on chain forever, then we have the answer. That is the Espresso Place, which lets user to co-create and collaborate on a common ground with complete ownership. It allows user to place pixel on the canvas with full ownership, near zero gas fees, and fast transactions. Every pixel is a representation, and every canvas is community owned. We are more than just a drawing tool. We are the programmable layer for the culture. NFT projects, DAOs, and other communities can utilize Espresso Place to co-create memes, territory maps, and many more things. Increase their on-chain activity, which is highly important with every transaction. Unlock NFTs or reward based on the pixel contribution they have made. And all these matters because the next evolution of Web3 is social infra, not just financial. We have seen a shift taking up the example of Arcaster, Lens, who are taking up this lead. We are moving towards participation more than speculation. And Espresso Place adds a visual, gamified, community-first layer to this ecosystem. With this, Espresso Place shows a huge future potential as well, which can be achieved via next steps, which includes NFT ownership of the final canvas to all the contributors, onboard DAOs and NFT projects to run Canvas campaigns, Add modular incentive like pixel staking, dynamic NFTs, and creator monetization. Extend into gaming, governance, and virtual worlds. With the rising industry of AI agents, we can explore that exciting field as well. All right, this was about the Espresso Place. Now let's just dive into the core of the product with a quick demo. So here I am on the espressoplace.virtual.app. So here I can see a canvas being loaded from the blockchain with existing contributions. I will just start by connecting my wallet. I will go with MetaMask. So now I have a common canvas on which I can place my pixel and contribute to it. So I will just pick a color from the color picker, and for instance, I just place my pixel here. So this pixel will be stored in the blockchain in our custom rollup. Then I will confirm the transaction. As you can see, my pixel have been placed here for persistency. As you can see, confirmation has been passed. For persistency check, I will just refresh it to check if my pixel persists. So yeah, my pixel persists, and now I will just switch from uh, our custom rollup Espresso Place to Arbitrum Sapolia. So now I'm on Arbitrum Sapolia. As you can see, I can see the pixel being placed of color yellow. Now I would like to contribute to it. So I can contribute from this chain as well. And my pixel will be placed on this canvas. So I will just confirm my transaction. So yeah, the transaction has been confirmed. If I go back to my original rollup chain, as you can see, the contribution persists. So similarly, people from different chains can come together on common ground to create, build, and express themselves without any without any dependency on chain and express themselves with complete ownership on the digital canvas. So yeah, this was Espresso Place for you, and I'm up for the questions now.
All right, Shivang, we have a few questions. Thank you so much for that presentation. That was very interesting. Yana and Ellie both mentioned having questions. Yana, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, hi. First of all, thanks for the great presentation. Exciting to see social applications also being thought about with Espresso. I think like my overarching question there is with like financial use cases, is very easy to see like what is the incentive to the user and how you also align incentives in adoption of that technology. But with social, how are you thinking about aligning the incentives, and what is it in for the user to be actually adopting this new network?
Yeah, good question. Like as I mentioned, like we can onboard NFT projects, communities, and DAOs. So basically, we have all seen the new chains being introduced, and their first step is always like to onboard as many of developers and like creating small tasks like connect your wallet, then like incentivize them with like a future potential airdrop. So basically, they are doing all this to increase their on-chain transaction on their new chains to onboard new users. And similarly, they can utilize this Espresso Place for increasing on-chain activities. And the biggest difference between Espresso Place and any other incentivization or any other plan DAO is thinking is that the entry barrier for Espresso Place is quite lower. Anyone can contribute to it and increase their on-chain activity and DAOs can use it as a community event to like onboard more users and collaborate and express themselves.
Great. Ellie, do you have a question? And Jill, I think you can have.
Yeah, Ellie, go for it.
Yeah, so I was wondering, I think it's really cool how the changes on the Espresso Place rollup are also reflected on the Arbitrum Sepolia, so you can kind of like share between them. I was wondering if you could kind of explain more how that's like facilitated. Like, did you use like a hyperlane messaging protocol? Are espresso confirmations used in there? Are you using like a fast withdrawal setting on the Espresso Place rollup, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So we are using Hyperlane for message passing. Basically, Hyperlane helping us in providing synchronization between Arbitrum Sepolia and our custom layer 2 rollup.
Awesome, thanks.
Thanks. I have a quick one. Just, you started by talking about the importance of community, and I'm wondering if you can link the cross-chain elements of what you've built back to that notion of community. I'm curious how you see those two things coming together, because both are obviously important in this project.
Yeah, definitely. As I mentioned, importance of community is best when people are collaborating together. So we don't want people to collaborate on a single chain. Users might be on different chains and they have existing track on activities on their other chains as well. So in future, we will be integrating more chains. So user won't be dependent on their chain. Like they won't be stopped by like this community event is not present on my chain, so I can't attend this. So we want to remove that problem. So anyone from any chain can collaborate on a common ground. So yeah, that's basically allowing people of community to express collaboratively and something tangible and with complete ownership.
Love it. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, Shivang, thank you so much. That was excellent. I'm going to move along and bring up Andrew from Espresso Stellar.
Espresso Stellar is a gamified cross-chain NFT minting, and I'm excited, Andrew, to see what you built. I saw a little bit prior the UI and was pretty interesting. So letting you the stage for you to take from here.
Excellent, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great. Take
Perfect. It away. Awesome. Congrats to all the finalists. Amazing pitches so far. So hi, everyone. I'm Andrew, and I'm a product manager with a little bit of dev experience. To align expectations, this pitch will probably run just under 7 minutes. My project is Espresso Stellar, an onboarding layer for developers to learn composability by playing through it. It starts with mission 1, which is a cross-chain NFT mint powered by Espresso confirmations. So my vision is to make composability something you don't just read about. You explore it, you feel it, and you build belief in it. For rollups, it's visibility. For developers, it's onboarding. And for Espresso, it's a showcase of what's possible. Espresso Stellar becomes a living layer of the ecosystem, where composability isn't just talked about, it's played. Espresso has done a great job of making the tech accessible. The docs are strong, and the initial integration is clear. The fact that I could participate in this hackathon as a product manager with little dev experience is proof of that. But even with great documentation, many developers will still drop off before they get that click, that moment where they truly understand what Espresso enables. Great infrastructure needs more than docs to drive adoption. It needs a moment of belief, something that makes the value feel real. Right now, that moment is missing, and that's where Espresso Stellar comes in. So I built that moment. It's a working cross-chain NFT mint. You send a payment on a custom Arbitrum Nitro Sepolia rollup where you have funds, And seconds later, you receive an NFT on Ethereum Sepolia where you need utility. No delay, no gas fee dust, just a seamless cross-chain experience powered by Espresso confirmations. That's when it clicks. That's when developers can feel what composability really means. Then I turn that moment into a game. Espresso Stellar is a space-themed onboarding experience that makes infrastructure feel like exploration. Each blockchain is a planet, Espresso confirmations is the warp tunnel that connects them, and you, the player, are a pioneer exploring the universe and feeling what composability enables. It's fast and it's fun. Just like crypto zombies helped me learn Solidity years ago, Espresso Stellar helps developers believe in composability by playing through it. Now, let me show you what that moment actually looks like. As we enter orbit, we'll start with the story in game mode and then step through educational mode. Let's prepare for liftoff. Hello, space pioneers. Welcome to a fractured galaxy. You're able to instantly teleport between planets, but resources and communication take between 15 minutes and 7 days, making their movement always inconvenient and many times not worth it. Until now, a warp tunnel has appeared that allows near instant movement of resources and communication. Your mission, should you choose to accept, is to use this warp tunnel to secure a rare landing permit on planet Sepolia without ever having to travel and pay there. Okay, so let's dive into the blockchain perspective. We want to buy a rare NFT on one chain, but we don't have funds on that chain. It will take between 15 minutes and 7 days to move funds from our main chain to this other chain. This is pain point number one. After we purchase the NFT, we will have some funds left on this other chain. This is pain point number two. But if our main chain is Espresso enabled, we can make the purchase from our main chain. Minutes or days turn into seconds. We've solved pain point one. And no leftover funds on a random chain, since we've never had to move our funds off the main chain, we've solved pain point number two. All right, so let's step through it. We make our payment on our Espresso-enabled Arbitrum Nitros rollup, our source chain, to a specific wallet address. Now, in the background, a relay is querying Espresso Hotshot for confirmations on that rollup to see if they hit a minimum value and are sent to a specific address. If those criteria are met, we mint an NFT on the target chain. And we can see that here. So, aha, if my rollup integrates Espresso, I can read those confirmations and trigger an action on any chain. That moment you just experienced, that's the missing piece in the developer journey. Espresso Stellar turns curiosity into belief. It delivers the instant hands-on aha that gets developers past hesitation and into your docs. This isn't just a demo. It's a new layer of onboarding, one that makes composability feel real. The first mission is live. We just completed it. A real cross-chain NFT mint that shows off what Espresso can do. Next, we move to an initial launch with 2 planets. Planet Espresso, where pioneers learn more about Espresso capabilities, and Planet Rari, where pioneers learn about protocol-level royalties. Then, every new rollup that integrates with Espresso becomes a new planet with new missions. To take Espresso Stellar from prototype to production, we're going to need 3 things. Number 1, funding to support the initial launch. Number 2, technical support to showcase top features. And number 3, ecosystem collaborations to help with co-design and marketing. We started with a vision that composability should be something you don't just read about. With Espresso Stellar, developers explore it, feel it, and believe in it. Each new planet and mission brings visibility to chains, onboarding to developers, and shows what's possible with Espresso. Espresso Stellar is now that vision in motion, a living layer of the ecosystem where composability is played. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to building out the Espresso universe together.
Thank you, Andre. I have a question before Ellie jumps with a another question as well. I'm wondering how you plan and how would be a go-to-market strategy to bring users to try a learning path or this learning journey about composability? How would you incentivize them or bring them to how this is important for you to learn, for you to understand and play with it?
Yeah, it's a great question, and maybe one of the most important ones is trying to make it useful. It would really heavily lean on gamification. I'd say that the example would be here. A lot of people here get excited about POAPs, and so different NFTs can be a way to get people on board. I'd also draw from the success of Succinct Testnet. They did a great job of gamifying their testnet, and so I think that as we focus on kind of initial rewards and building excitement, those would be the things I would heavily lean on at the beginning.
Thank you. I'm gonna pass to Ellie.
Yeah, this is cool. I also learned Solidity using crypto zombies, so this is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe you could expand on some ideas you had for like the future lessons, and kind of like what they would look like, what pathways you would have developers kind of go through to continue learning.
Yeah, so there are a lot of opportunities. I think that even from if we take a step back from the technical developer's perspective, you could be launching new planets and getting exposure that way. I also think that each planet should have its own mission, right? So Espresso has data availability, right? So that could be a lesson on where you store things. Maybe you store things on Ethereum, or you store things on Espresso and how that works out, really trying to showcase the advantages. And then, the planet Rary, right? So being able to learn about what each chain enables, really trying to lead people down the path of, hey, you're going to use all the chains, but finding your main chain is important. And here's the the other planets you can travel to and explore and learn more about.
Awesome, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. Let me bring my slide back here.
Cool. All right.
Wait,
thank you so much.
maybe before we go to Java Bridge, you would like to talk a little bit more about the POAP? I think everyone is just like, I'm looking at our YouTube channel here, and everyone's just about like, what is the passcode? What is the instructions?
Okay, sure. We can go ahead and do that now. So this POAP is just to commemorate our first ever Build and Brew pitch day. We are very appreciative of everyone that's watching live, and has been supportive throughout this process. So the POAP there. So in order to claim the POAP, you have to have the POAP app, which is easily downloadable in the App Store if you're on iOS, and the equivalent on Android. And there's multiple ways to mint POAPs. Obviously, if you've seen, you can scan QR codes, that sort of thing. The way we're doing it today, though, is using the secret code. So when you have the app open, you should be able to. There should be the mint button you'll see in the bottom right, and then that will pop open a menu where you have multiple kind of options of how to claim, where you're either scanning an NFC or a QR code, and then there's also an option that says secret word. So you would click that, and then so to mint the POAP with the secret word, you would enter the secret word, and here it is. And I will say there is only 500 of these, so there is a limit, unfortunately. So I don't, if the metrics I'm emptying right now says we have more than 2,000 people watching. I don't, that's awesome. But the POAPs there's 500 of them, and the secret word is hotshot dash fuel dash interop.
You might want to write this in a subtitle here, just to make sure everyone is understanding. So while Wait is writing the passcode, you need the POAP app. You're gonna go in Mint button. You're gonna press this passcode, and we just have 500 POAPs available. So as fast as you can get, as fast you're gonna get one of these 500 POAPs. But thanks, Wait, for setting this up. So hotshot dash fuel dash interop.
Yes. And the mint windows is open for only 45 minutes.
Okay, 45 minutes for everyone to get their pull-up.
Okay.
Now we
And
can
please
move
don't
to the
share it
next
with people that are not on the live stream.
for people. Yeah, don't share. Don't share with who is not
that are
on the
not
live stream.
All right, next we have Java Bridge. So let me pull where is there he is.
Hello.
Hello. All right. An AI-powered near-instant cross-rollup transactions where bridging assets is as easily as sending a message. I am going to remove our slides, and I see. Oh, thank you very much for sharing your screen, bringing that on stage right now. There you are. We can hear you fine. Can you hear us all?
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Hey everyone. Yeah, I'm Hafiz from the Java Bridge team, and today I'm excited to share what we've been building. Doing something we believe that will help solve one of the challenges in cross-chain transaction. So imagine you're just trying to move token from one rollup to another, maybe from Ethereum to Arbitrum. You open up your wallet, start the process, and 15 minutes later, finally lands. As for the regular user like me, that kind of delay can be frustrating. Like, is my money safe? Will it go through? And so on. So then we started asking, what if bridging could feel as simple as sending a chat? And that led us to build Java Bridge. It's a cross-rollup bridge powered by Espresso, Open Intent Framework, and AI. And we want to build that. We want to build it to make that entire process feel effortless. So, by Java Bridge, first, it's efficient, optimized specifically for roll-up speed and performance, and it's blazing fast. Your funds settle in under 5 seconds, and it's smooth. No one want to have like a painful UX, so you just have to chat with our Luwak AI, and you're ready to go. So with what you can do with Luwak, you can bridge asset, bridge data, check gas prices, explore up, and so on. And beyond that, Luwak AI helps you dive deeper into Espresso ecosystem for now, making discovery easier, faster, and more fun. Let me jump to the demo for now. So here you just submit a bridge request, and Java Bridge will lock your funds on the source chain. The software pick it up and trigger the withdrawal, and boom, you got your fund instantly. So back to the I'm sorry. And we also have the Luwak AI chat. So here we have the shortcut to make it easier for user to access. For now, we try to ask how to run Espresso node here. Waiting for response. So here's the response from our Luwak AI. And then how about if we ask about the minimum requirement for So here's the minimum requirement that we can that if you want to use the if you want to run the Espresso sequencer node. Also, there's a hyperlink that you can access that will go directly to the Espresso GitHub. But how about if we ask another question here? I hope your portfolio is good for now, guys. So what's next? We want to implement more chains to make our AI more smarter, and then we want to upgrade the GPT to 4.0. Then we want to make it equivalence-DB, pinecone for like fast responses. And soon we want to implement in chat bridging where you can approve and execute swaps right inside in chat window. This is for the monetization that we want to use. We want to have a sponsored content. So Web3 project and format update to insert to chat. And also we want to implement the micro fee transaction for bridge. And also we have the letter premium to make a faster settlement. So it's our roadmap. For now, we on the Q2, and we plan to have a mainnet on the Q3. So I think it's all. We know it's not perfect yet. That's why we're super grateful to be part of the Good MQ. And we love your feedback to help shape where our product will go next. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for listening.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's see. I'm going to bring up Sneh and Jill.
Isn't feel free to go ahead with your question.
Sneh, go ahead with your question.
Hi, yeah, amazing project. I just wanted to ask, so you mentioned swaps as well. Have you implemented swaps already? And if not, like, how do you plan to integrate it? Yeah.
As for now, our scope is limited to Espresso and is compatible up with Jing. But I think we're going to have a feature on swap in the next round.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about the AI portion of the tool? And it feels a little bit like two products to me. Can you talk a little bit more about how you see them working together?
So actually, our main focus is to implement the AI on the Espresso because our target is to have like broader user engagement to try the Espresso. And we think that if we implement the AI, it can make the user like non-dev user to try the Espresso more easily for now.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you a lot, Hafiz. I'm gonna bring back again. Oh, wait, you also want to explain to everyone that is asking us about how they can proceed with the POAP?
Yes, let me bring on next. Hold on. The next is by me. That's going to be. So I'm going to bring Perry on, and then I will do that. Yes. All right. So Buy Me an Espresso 1. This is Perry's project, right? Yes.
Yes, this is Perry's project.
Questions in the chat. I'm seeing a bunch of questions. So again, POAP, you need to have the app either on your phone or I dropped the link in the comments, but I believe you can also just go to poap.xyz and or specifically collections.poap.xyz if you're on desktop, and you should be able to connect your wallet and I believe mint from there. I've only ever minted from my phone though. So, but once you have the app, you don't have to search for an espresso collection or anything like that. You just have to, again, tap the button that should be on the bottom right. It says mint, and then it has a menu of options. And you just want to select the one that says secret word. And then you just enter in that code that I gave you. And then that it's automatic. It should mint that POAP to your wallet. This POAP is on Gnosis chain. So they're but it's you can connect your wallet, your Ethereum, your EVM wallet. So that should
Thank you.
That should
if
work.
Anyone has questions, just drop on YouTube, and we're gonna be answering by there. Let's move to the next presentation. So now is the Buy Me an Espresso 1. We are the ones bringing this number just because we have two projects with the same name. And Perry will be presenting, talking about this friendly cross-chain platform for creators and supporters with a touch of appreciation gestures. Perry, please feel free to explain to us what is in your mind. Just remind yourself 7 minutes, and you can take from here.
Hello.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. Hey, it's Pavi here. During hackathon, what happened was like I was really short of some Sepolia ETH. And there's a one guy in the community called 0x Golden D Nodes. He sent me like one Sepolia ETH, and I was very, very happy so that I can run and deploy the nodes. After 2 days, I got some free Sepolia ETH from my other friends, and I returned the Sepolia ETH to him, and I sent him a thanks note and everything. I was very happy actually. But that's where the whole problem comes, because everything happened between me and him on the Discord. It never went anywhere outside, and nobody knows. So Buy Me an Espresso is a platform actually where you can not only just like do a transaction, like I have to send the money, but it's something which you send as a note of appreciation, like thank you, but it comes from the heart. It's not something you have to do one transaction of a couple of dollars and you send a nice note as a feedback, like thank you for your help or whatever, and then you make the transaction. So this is what is Buy Me an Espresso. It's a no-friendly and less transactional environment for Web3 creators and their audiences. This is the basic problem actually we are trying to fix. As of now, there is none. What is the solution? It's a friendly cross-chain platform for creators and supporters with a touch of gesture appreciation, but there is a gamification involved in this. I will actually share in the big screen. And implementing espresso confirmations, especially in this way, it's going to bring more transactions on overall ETH. And we can make it great again. We will have more NFTs, more earnings, more savings, more fun, and super duper fast confirmations. Actually, there is a demo, but like I would like to share a few more screens just to give you a brief. So basically, the demo consists of like 2 roll-up deployments and cross roll-up transactions flow with espresso confirmations. So basically what is happening, say for example, Jill knows Mariana did amazing stuff with managing the hackathon. So now Jill wants to send 0.001 ETH to Mariana. On our platform, Espresso actually confirms this transaction, and our app reads the event, what happens on the platform. And Jill and Mariana both gets not only the transaction, but something as an NFT or a certificate. It can be a reward, it can be an airdrop, it can be even like a stable coin. So that will be dropped as a reward or a gesture of appreciation for the actual transaction. I can actually show the demo. So, yeah, so say for example, this is actually Jill's wallet, and now Jill is going to do the transaction, but like let's so this is like a roller B. This is happening on roller B at the moment, and now we are on this platform. This is like a kind of raw demo. So Jill is gonna connect her wallet and gonna send some ETH to Mariana on rollup A. This is the original rollup A. Everything is happening on rollup A now, and this is all happening with Espresso. All the confirmations. This is all like pre-recorded demo, so it's like connected to rollup A. Espresso confirmations are verifying, and it has happened. It's working behind the scenes. It's confirmed. Boom. It has the transaction is successful, and it has processed on Jill's account here. This is increased actually. So basically what is happening here is when any transaction happens on rollup A, our application reads in with the help of Espresso confirmations, and the follow-up results happen on rollup B. So for example, in another quick words, so if anything is happening between rollup A and rollup B, a partner chain, say for example, Ravi can mint NFT for both users, for supporter and for creators. this is the basic UI like which we want it to work like. So this you already have an idea how it's going to look like. Practical impact, that's the real thing, like what we want to achieve with this hackathon is like it will actually unlock the real world consumer application behavior across chains, because now we are doing many chains, playing with many chains using only one transaction. Plus it will help developers to align how to build the apps using Espresso and taking the advantage of composability across different I would say ecosystems without fragmenting UX and liquidity. Our target audience is primary Web3 users and Web2 users as well. Of course, we will help them to come on board and more Web3 users. Our business model is we will keep the platform free for 2 years. Of course, there are a few more things in the pipeline, like we can have the marketplace where creators can post their gigs. Of course, we will have ads, B2B partnerships. When I say B2B partnerships, I would love to have, say, for example, Ravi as a partner. So when we are doing the transactions on roller A and roller B, Ravi will be our partner where all NFT minting will take place. Plus data analytics, it will be a very good tool. That is one thing I would like to share. So say, for example, it can be the next Kaito. Why? Because on Kaito, there can be so many botted entries on the Twitter, but like when you're having actual real life transactions on a platform, you can see who is the real user and how their transaction and wallets are performing. So that will be one of the another business model. Our market size, like as of now, the total creators economy is 143 billion, and then by 2034, it's going to be 1,487 billion. As of now, our competition is actually none. They are tiny, but they are not very, very like, substantial. Off-chain, yes, we have BuyMe, Coffee.com, Patreon, and Ko-fi. So in 2024, the revenue for BuyMe, Coffee.com was 4.9 million, and Patreon was 202.6 million. So having these figures, we can see like we have a very, very big scope for the market. And during this hackathon, we had successfully deployed 2 fully functional rollups, Janeway and Picard. And we had like all backend stuff, smart contracts, everything. What we are looking for in our near future is like grants and funding so that we can carry on with the development and with the basic features. In our team, we have Chris and myself. This is his first Web 2 and Web 3 hackathon. And it's me, Parry. I'm ex-head of strategic execution for Stack AI. Worked with many Fortune 500 companies and startups from Y Combinator and 500 startups. I'm open for any more questions from your side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Perry.
Can you hear me?
Wait, I think you're moving too much things around. I'm adding Jill to the stage. She has a question to you. Thank you so much for presenting, Perry.
You're welcome.
Hey, Perry, this was awesome. I really enjoyed the demo and the thinking behind the business. You were very thorough, so it's even a little hard to have a question. But I'm curious how you think about marketing the product and bringing users on board. Do you think it's primarily creators that you would be targeting first to make them aware of it? Or would it be perhaps, partnerships with chains like you mentioned? Where would you begin with it?
So it's a very good question, actually. So let's say like all the Web3 guys who are actively in the ecosystem, they all can create their own page, which is very easy. Like when there's a one link, like create my page, and it makes a very quick link, and you just put it on the Twitter, like in our bio profile. It can be used anywhere. And straight away, like say, for example, like many people who are writing the threads or they are sharing the things, it's very hard to tip or any way to appreciate openly. So like first target will be the Web3 straight away on the Twitter, straight away, no other second one.
I love it. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I look forward to testing it.
Thank you.
Perry, maybe my question is a little bit beyond the project, but like how could you combine some more like Web2 experience in your previous experience in other companies to combine your idea with like not only blockchain, but like bringing a way more technical product? Where you see the reasoning, the motivation, and what's brought you to exactly this idea?
Oh, that's actually cool because I have a very creative and diverse background. So like I used to run my own design studio. And besides that, I was more into, I had actually 3 startups. So like I call myself creativepreneur, but I don't like put like I'm 3x founder or whatever. I have done many things in my past. So the consumer behavior and to bring creative things, people actually love that. And I love tech as well. So when I see the blockchain stuff, how many things we can integrate together, it just opens the new, I would say, new galaxy or new like opportunities. Like people can do many things. Yes, many people don't have this 360-degree experience of different domains like lifestyle, fashion, events. I was also part of this thing. I was doing like events as well in the past. Plus, I was also very, very active in the men's fashion. I've been to men's fashion, Fashion Week Poland as well. So doing very creative things. So that is how like my creative juices are always flowing together, and I can actually knocking down many other things at the same time. Kind of creative biz guy, you can say. Love tech, but like business first always.
Nice, I love it. We're gonna move for the next one, Perry, but we thank you a lot for your time,
Thank you very
presentation,
much.
all the work done.
Thank you.
Next one we have, okay, let me put me here again, is Disburse Network. So Disburse is this cross-chain payout protocol, enabling payments across multiple chains from a single transaction. I'd love to hear a little bit how integrate Espresso in payments. And welcome on board and take the stage from here, Swan.
Hey, thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible. You just need to share your screen.
Yeah. I'll be sharing my screen. Is this screen visible?
Yes.
Yep. So let me press. So yeah, we have. So my name is Swayam, and we have built Disburse Network, which basically does is you can send any chain from any token to any chain to any user. So how it works. So why we build this, right? So I really don't like to put large amount of like bullet points in PPT, but I will just simply explain what's the problem that I faced last month. Is I wanted to send 100 USDC to 4 of my friends. 2 of them are Arbitrum and 2 of them on Optimism. And for that, I didn't have any native ETH on Arbitrum and Optimism. So for that, I had to like take the consideration of native gas on base, then Arbitrum, then Optimism, swap USDC to ETH, then bridge it using any bridge, then swap it there, ETH to USDC, and then send it to 4 addresses. And so what I did in total is I did 11 transactions, which I didn't want to do because I just wanted to send 100 USDC. With Apple Pay, I could have sent it with like simple taps. And the last current state that I was I had like 0.8 ETH on base, 1.1 ETH on Arbitrum, and 0.4 ETH on Optimism. And this is just the best case, right? When everything goes smoothly. So, and also after sending out this payment, I was only able to send $95. And where the $5 went is basically I was using the DEX and all these bridges and all, and also had $2.3 native ETH sitting on different chains. And I didn't like the UX at all. And I realized that currently we have the best cross-chain abstraction provided by across Hyperlink and all these protocols, but it actually doesn't work if you want to send multi-payments like Disburse app or merchant payments, where you want to send payments to a lot of addresses, from lot of addresses to lot of addresses. And that's why I thought building this actually makes sense. So what we are building you can basically send any token from any chain to any token, like any address. You can send native tokens, you can send ERC20s like USDC, USDT, and you can also like batch, mint, or launch a collection on any chain using ERC721 or 1155. So how it works, right? A very simple flow. User deposit it on any of the L2 chain, then it provides the intent to Solver network. Hey, I have deposited. Solver network verifies the deposit, and solver network says that, hey, let's like start this on the Disburse rollup powered by Espresso, and we start the multi-chain transactions. And as soon as we get the confirmation from Espresso, we immediately release the funds for the solver, so that solver can withdraw the fund from the particular chain, and Hyperlink will do their job of like relaying the funds to different chains. So a quick note is that we are currently not using across solvers, but integrating across solvers actually makes sense, because across solvers has like a large amount of liquidity and network. They have integrated solver netting, and also like trustless settlement process. And it's very easy for you to tap into existing liquidity instead of like bootstrapping your whole solver network. So yeah, market cap, right? Right now there are like 50 trillion plus payment volume in 2024. There are like $4 trillion plus in cross-chain payments, where merchants have to go through all this hurdle. And most of these payments are done via majority of L2s, where institutions are getting onboarded via different partnerships. And even leading platform like Coinbase sometimes require more than 10 minutes of confirmation across L2s, like some of the L2s for fast like finality. And for Solana, it takes like more than 2 or 3 hours. So current UX is broken still because of this abstraction and bridging delays. So yeah, that's what we built, and that's what we solved. So I will give you a quick demo. So if you go to Disburse Network, you can go disburse.network. You can explore app, connect wallet, Abby, connect. Then you can add manually address here one by one if you want to send it to someone, a creator, a merchant, or suppose like normal use case. But I will just show you the power of sending mass payments. So I have imported a CSV which has more than 500 addresses on different chains, and now I will just submit. Now we will basically have submitted this to the base Sepolia chain where I wanted to deposit it, and also submitted the intent to Across. And now what happens is we have Across will, like my solver network will basically verify that, hey, is the deposit has been successfully done. And then once the deposit has been done, what we will do is like we will start this sending process. So if you go to Mantle Sepolia and go to international transaction, as you can see, these are the mass payments. So if you go to transactions, internet transactions, and see that this whole is being paid. So if you go to other chains like Polygon, and you can go to this internet transactions, and as you can see, this transaction, yeah, as you can see, this has been processed. And so yeah, that it's actually using Espresso's confirmation, as I already said, like provided by CAF node RPC, that which makes it more seamless. And yeah, pretty excited to make this app production ready. Yeah, thank you. That's all from my side.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I'm going to bring you on the stage. I don't know if Ellie or Sneh also has any question regarding to how the architecture was built. But if not, Jill, you can just go ahead and make your first question. Always Sneh also has.
Yeah, no, that was really awesome. I really enjoyed your presentation of the problem, and also your presentation of the design that you're using to solve it. I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about anything you'd like to improve further on the product, either in terms of like the architecture and the infrastructure, any missing pieces, or in terms of like the product experience for users itself.
Yeah. So the product experience, as you have already seen, is like pretty seamless. You can integrate any token on any chain. What I wanted to really do is provide. So I think Espresso is great at providing fast finality. Now, if you think about the main problem of solvers right now, is they wait for finality so that they can get back their funds on most of these L2s. So when Espresso does this, it provides instant confirmation. So if you see majority of like intent-based providers, they only support like major white label assets like it's USDC, USDT, because solver shouldn't like solvers funds shouldn't be affected after some time. So it prevents bridging of meme coins or low volume assets or like low market cap assets, because there is a high volatility. But with this espresso confirmations, in just 2 seconds, as I already show you, we can bridge any tokens from any chain to any chain. So if you have a meme coin on Base and you have meme coin on Solana, which has 1:1 liquidity, you can do it immediately. You can swap anything from anything immediately. So you can also use it like Uniswap X using fast finality, which doesn't even take like any time. So that's what I wanted to achieve after this, is bringing low quality coins. But right now for hackathons, as I showed, like I need to whitelist 3-4 tokens, hence I use only USDT, USDC, and DAI, which is the major use case of payments.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, thanks so much for adding that color.
Hi, thanks for the awesome presentation. Cool use case as well. And I just wonder, right? Once you add this element of mass transaction, essentially, right, and multiples, how do you tackle topics of spamming and some sort of malicious actors prevention? Is that something you decided?
Yeah, we actually love spamming, right? Because we're gonna take the fees. So if you see Gaslight airdrop has literally airdropped 100 Ethereum itself on Base Sepolia. Like they have distributed 100 Ethereum and launched so many coins. So just think about, we integrate all these chains using Espresso confirmations, and we have like people spamming on like this Espresso confirmation or like L2s, right? And we are taking 0.1% of the fees, just like Disburse app. We have millions of dollars in revenue just by building a simple payment app, and it works actually good, because if you see the latest integrations with Bridge, which they did with Privy and all, their main core problem was how they can integrate multiple chains. So there has been many solutions with ERC 7579, with safe wallets, resource log wallets and all, which doesn't quite work well because you like lose on security somewhere, like with the solvers, or like giving permission to any other mover who can move your funds. So my main goal is to basically make this app production ready so that anyone can basically build this, like use this as a payments app. And like I love spamming, so you can spam on my app and distribute funds to like $0.001 to thousands of your friends. And yeah, Espresso is also scalable, so we don't need to think of spamming because they are paying on mainnet.
Sinead, do you have a question?
Awesome. Yeah, I honestly love the project, and I think it has a real use case for sure. I guess, like as you already mentioned, like it's a very big issue, like dispersing payments across multiple chains. And I think one of the biggest issues is like, what if you disperse to one chain, one user, and something happens and it doesn't work for the other chain? So how exactly does your protocol handle that right now? And if not, then what? Do you have any plans?
Yeah. So we listen to Espresso confirmations before starting this whole process, right? So we are very sure that Espresso has given us confirmation that, hey, funds has been deposited. We also relate the message to all these chains, and now solver can take back the liquidity. So in case Espresso doesn't say that, hey, funds were not deposited, the solver won't be able to access the liquidity. It means that user can withdraw the funds after like as soon as Espresso confirmations has been received. So Espresso said, hey, funds were not deposited. User can go, okay, 2 seconds has happened. Espresso give the confirmation. Let's withdraw the funds and try again, instead of waiting for 7 days as fast, like finality to get the funds and all. So that's the most advantageous thing here. Like the fast finality confirmation is the most advantageous thing for payments, I feel.
Makes sense. Thank you. I think a really good use case for Espresso for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a great presentation. Thank you so much, Juan. And also for the clarity on all the points. I'm gonna bring back again my slides and also call Randall Network. So Alex gonna be here presenting for Randall Network. So Random provides and builds this Arbitrum orbit that provides secure, verifiable randomness for decentralized applications. Alex would love to hear a little bit more how you use VRF with Espresso. Please feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Okay.
There we go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Gubin, and I'm the creator of this project. And today, I would like to tell you about the random network. But first, I would like to thank Espresso team and the judges for giving me an opportunity to perform my project. So let's get started. Well, Web3 apps need randomness. Today, they face a third choice. They can use on-chain solution that other can manipulate, or they can play for centralized Oracle services that lack transparency. Both options create security risk and limit growth. Random Network addresses this problem and by providing the first randomness native app chain. We built Random Network as a specialized layer 2 on Arbitrum Orbit. It delivers decentralized apps the secure, verifiable randomness they need. Being Espresso caffeinated node, we keep all the security of layer 1, yet we cut cost and boost speed like true layer 2 should. For cross-chain messaging, we use Hyperline, and of course, we use verifiable random function at its core. So what is VRIF? This is a cryptographic tool that solves one problem: how to create a random number that can be verified but cannot be predicted. For this purpose, Random Network use ECVRIF, which is elliptic curve implementation for verifiable random function. We use this algorithm because there are lots of libraries already existing in Solidity for EVM. Where would randomness be needed? Actually, it uses in many areas. For example, in GameFi, when you need to have transport lottery system, or maybe some rare item drop calculation. In NFT for creation unique collection and fair distribution and minting in your government's application for DAO member selection, or maybe validator selection in your proof of stake network, or maybe in security when you need to create and develop some verification system. So now let's consider, is it appropriate time to provide randomness? Now, areas that actively use verifiable randomness are growing rapidly. According to analytics research, blockchain gaming can grow to $1.2 trillion by 2033. NFT market can grow to $800 billion by 2035. And already verified demand estimate of millions of requests per year across thousands of projects. So what are the current services that provide randomness, and why the advantages of random network? As you can see, there are several options. So we can use the basic block hash that using existing blockchain data, which is predictable and manipulatable by validators. We provide unpredictable and unique randomness for each request. We can use chain link VRIF, which is de facto standard in our industry, but it uses Oracle-based off-chain computation, but it has some problem with centralization and not transparent solution. So we provide decentralized solution which high security guarantees by design. We can use and maybe some integration with DRAND network, which is distributed network for randomness, but it's not blockchain native and not directly integrated with smart contract. We provide directly access via smart contracts. Currently, we can use Solidity. Or maybe you can choose algorithm VRIF, which is integrate this VRIF in the consensus, but it's limited to algorithm ecosystem. We provide cross-chain interoperability from Hyperlane and OpenTens framework. So basically, how it works. First of all, user contracts call the random contract on source chain. Then request crosses chain through Hyperlane messaging. It trails to the random network. Off-chain VRF executor catch requests, generate true randomness, and send back with the cryptographic proof. After on-chain verification, The verified result travel back to your chain through hyperlane, and eventually the random contract on your source chain delivers the random number to your contract. So let's go to the demo. I go to live and show you how we can request some numbers. Collect the wallet. Now we're at Arbitrum Sepolia. Let's request number and wait some moment. So as a result, we see the random big number. Yeah, one moment. Yeah, maybe some trouble as a live presentation as well. Let's try another one. Yeah, and we got some number, and you can see that it took 5 seconds for Arbitrum Sepolia. We can go to Arbitrum Explorer and verify that it's exactly took 5 seconds. So we request random number at 25 seconds and receive at 30. So yeah, it's a quick showcase of VRF from random network. And yeah, go to next slide. So our current state that we have live testnet with working VRF implementation, one live caffeinated node, cross-chain integration with 3 networks, which is Arbitrum, Optimism, Ethereum, Sepolia. And you can see response time benchmark that it's pretty fast, I think. And for the next step, we have huge plans. We need to make some core functionality. For example, I want to make the transition to full app chain. So it means that we will integrate VRF execution directly into the block producing. Use own ERC20 token as gas token and implement more payment model, for example, subscription. Also support ERC 7683 using OpenTens framework. And of course, we need audit core protocol smart contracts and support additional chain from Hyperlane integration. Yeah, so our team consists of 2 great people, me and greatest graphic designer. And the final, let's secure the future of Web3 randomness using random network. Thank you for your attention. That's all.
Thank you so much, Alex. It's so great. Like, you really tried the demo live. So it's very, very nice. Congrats for the work done. I have one question after I'm going to pass to Sneh and after Ellie. What do you think would be the first use case? Let's say you have the product more ready. Which would be the first use case would you go that would be using and consuming from your application?
So basically, I'm looking for B2B integration with some partnership with new project Gamify, maybe existing project it's all about B2B integration, I think.
And in which sector, like what kind of industry, or if you can paint a little bit more, which would be this business that you're looking for first, this first ideal customer?
Yeah, I think it's some Gamify project which is need some games on blockchain, maybe, some Axis Infinity alternative, maybe some multiverse. We need some generation and some logic from randomness. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Sneh?
Yeah, I just want to say this randomness, as we all programmers know, is a very hard problem to solve for, and yeah, looks like a very promising project. I guess my question is, like, as you mentioned, like Chainlink is one of the one of the leaders in VR space right now, and they are sort of centralized. And your plan is to make this project decentralized, and you're planning to add validators. My question is, like, how are you planning to keep these validators honest? Is the plan that this network will end up being a chain, will have some sort of POS mechanism or something like that in future?
Yeah, actually, this is a future plan to integrate VRF into validator process, and I have already some proof of concept, which is works perfectly, I think. So basically, it's kind of threshold system using P2P network, which is validator can exchange the private keys for generate one signature that can produce a random number, and this random generation process can be requested every block generation before block will be produced. One validator selected put the random number into block, and above this network, all apps can use this number through smart contracts, like precompiled contracts, So yeah, I see it like that.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, this is really, really cool. My question is, there's a lot of like use cases, sorry, in a blockchain that like need random oracles, like you mentioned. There's like on-chain use cases like a lottery, but then there's kind of like off-chain use cases in the sense of like a consensus protocol needs randomness to elect a leader. I was wondering if you could expand on, like, are there any sort of use cases where you need a random beacon where your design wouldn't work, or is it supposed to be able to pretty much work for anything that needs a randomness beacon in Web3?
So I see that random network will be app chain. So it will be the only purpose for hub of random numbers, and that's it. So validators can earn from the generate this number and provide to other chain. So ideally, it's app chain, which is connect through cross-chain messaging protocol to others' chain. So yeah, it's ideally a situation.
That's great. Thanks for answering all the questions, Alex, and thanks again for putting this project together and presenting to us. I'm gonna move, of course, I'm gonna move to the next presentation and the slides here. So we're gonna be having GTX now with us. There's this cross-chain central limiter order book. I imagine you get a little bit of inspiration with GMX, but I'll let you Amar, explain a little bit more the project and take from here. Welcome on board.
All
Hello.
right. Take it away.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I'm Amar Bani. I'm from GTX, which stands for a great trading experience. So we're on a mission to rebuild on-chain trading from the ground up by combining the best of checks and DEX in fully decentralized way. Today, I'll walk you through the core problems in DeFi trading and how GTX solves them with the permissionless cross-chain CLB infrastructure. So let's jump to the problems. Today, crypto trading isn't great. DeFi is low, expensive, and relies on centralized parts like sequencers. Liquidity is fragmented, and AMMs expose LPs to impermanent loss while limiting support to niche token. And centralized exchanges like Binance are fast, but they lack transparency and require permission to list tokens. Users are stuck between inefficient DeFi and closed checks. And GTX want to change that, combining the speed of checks with the openness and transparency of DeFi, all in permissionless system. So here's our vision. We believe the future of trading should be as seamless and efficient as checks, without sacrificing decentralization. That's why GTX is built around 3 pillars: order book,
permissionless, market creation, and cross-chain liquidity. So why do order books? Order books aren't just more trader-friendly. They're structurally superior. MMs may be simpler, but they're also inefficient. Our CLB architectures eliminate slippage, unlocks deeper liquidity, better price discovery, higher capital efficiency, and yeah, better than AMMs. And why permissionless markets? Permissionless market creation is critical. It allows markets to form organically, like they do on centralized platform, but without needing a DAO vote. This boosts capital efficiency and supports for a long tail assets that otherwise can't find liquidity. And this is the examples of the list protocols that implement permissionless design with their TVL. Most of them have more than $1 billion. Oh, that's great. So we want to achieve it. And why is cross-chain? DeFi is multi-chain, but liquidity is still trapped. GTX connects rollups and other chains into one unified CLB, solving fragmentation while preserving native asset security. And our infrastructures enable truly seamless cross-chain trading. And to support the high frequency, low cost, and fair trading, we need a custom infrastructure. So that's why we need a dedicated rollup for trading. A general purpose chains just don't cut it. And that's why we're building GTX on GT Espresso, a dedicated app-specific rollup with shared sequencing and native cross-chain messaging backend. And because of the hackathon, we scoped cross-chain down to swap first, and using GTX CLB liquidity as the pricing and routing engine. A user submits an intent. For example, wrap it to USDC on Arbitrum, which is picked up on the Open Intent Framework and routed to GT Espresso. It will find a match order for the market wrap it to USDC, and then after it gets the USDC, it will send the intent, and then the result will be sent back to the users. So at the high level, GTX cross-chain CLB let users on any chain trade assets by submitting intents through solvers via Open Intent Framework. These intents are routed to GT Espresso. Yeah, where trades are matched against live order book, liquidity, and settled using native USDC pools. We're not building another swap aggregator. Instead, we leverage GTX's own CLOB as the pricing and routing engine and enable seamless cross roll-up trading, no wrap assets, no third-party bridges. And this approach validates our cross-chain infrastructure through real trading use case today, while laying the foundation for a fully cross-chain order book in the future. So let's jump to the demo. We use a pre-recorded for this, and this web actually using the liquidity from order book on GTX under the hood, and it's deployed on GT Espresso rollup used as a dedicated trading chain. And this is still using the USDC is still using the 18 decimals. So wait for it. It was sending the intent to GT Espressos first, and then it will send it to the Arbitrum. And that's the transaction hash for it. And we are here want to create a great trading experience in DeFi, and we're just getting started. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Amar. Isne has a question. I'm gonna bring her to stage. I also have a question. My question is more like, what do you think is missing right now in the DeFi space in a very short answer? And what do you think like GTX is bringing as innovative?
So right now, for the missing one is the chain that can process the high TPS, because the CLOB needs the high TPS, because we expect that there will be a lot of transaction on our CLOB. So because of that, we're still missing of the part, and even if it's not there's no chance for that, we want to try to create a great trading experience using dedicated roll-ups for that, for focusing on trading. So the user can do the transaction more fast because of that.
Thank you. Yeah, I know that's why a lot of the biggest DeFi in the previous months, they were more built on Arbitrum, Solana, right? Because it was a higher TPS. But I'm gonna pass to Sneh here to make her point and question.
Okay, sure.
Great project. I have a question. So how does the swap exactly work? Is it like you first swap on the chain where you're initiating the transaction, and then you bridge, after swapping the asset, then you bridge the swapped asset to the other chain? Or is it like, what's your approach on swapping here?
Okay, so maybe back to the swap first. Yeah. So in here, we the user will send the intent to swap for their tokens. Like for this example, is wrap it to USDC, and it will send the intent, and we will redirect it to the match order book on our CLOB to the pool of wrap it and USDC. After it will match, after it will get the order the USDC, we will send it back to the user using the solver, and then forward it to the user, and user will receive the tokens that they wanted from the swap, like that.
Okay, I see. So it's different from like other swap protocols like Squid and stuff. It's more like the solver is doing the swap off chain, and then sort of, okay, makes sense.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Excellent. All right.
Thank you a lot, Amar.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the espresso. Thank you.
Thank you for building.
Here. Now we have Tachyon, so it's going to be the second, I guess, more payments infrastructure utilizing Espresso and I think open intents. So Sudip, feel free to start from here, take the stage, and explain to us what is Tachyon about.
Yes. And please share your screen so I can put it up on stage. Sudeep, are you there? Oh.
I think he's trying to. Yeah, he's trying to bring his screen on.
There it is.
Am I audible?
Yeah,
yes.
We can hear you.
And is the screen visible?
Yes.
If
your
your
screen
screen's
is being shared. Feel free to take from here.
So
presentation mode. We'd be able to see a little better. But you see up in the top right, it says present.
All right.
There you go. All right, take it away.
Awesome. So the basic problem that I'm trying to solve here is like cross-chain payments, where we're able to like pay to multiple people across chains. So I came across this problem in the recent times where I'm trying to pay someone, but the major issue with Ethereum-based chains is the other person is supposed to have some gas on that chain. I mean, there have been more efforts to make like account abstraction and multiple ways to do this. But what I think is if you really want to have like proper payments without having to worry about like multiple chains, it is important that we use some kind of solver mechanism. And where do we exactly use this? We have like different payment solutions like MoonPay and few other payment solutions, which are which are native to a specific chain. For like it's probably going to stay on Solana for MoonPay or any other Ethereum chain for different payment services. So what we're trying to do is this will basically restrict users to interact with certain merchants or the other way around. Or as an institution, if you want to create payrolls for your companies and like your employees are not on like the same chain, right? So it's going to be a problem. So that's what I'm trying to solve. And yeah, as I said, like we either look for fast payments or we want to have like support for multiple chains, and that is what we are trying to achieve over here. So what happens is I'll probably go the architecture alongside the demonstration. So what happens is a user deposits whatever ETH he wants on any chain of his choice, and will input certain details like, hey, these are the addresses that are going to get like the payments, and these are the amounts. The solver network will basically, which is built on Hyperlink, will basically listen to this. It listens to open function, and it basically relays to this smart contract. Which is a payment token. And what it does is it pays out the addresses that were listed in that users on the Tachyon chain. And you might ask like, hey, why do I need a rollup? Why can't I directly relate to a chain of their choice? So that's where Hotshot comes into play. So what I've done is I've integrated something called CCIP read ISM. So what this allows us is you can basically read from any arbitrary off-chain server. In this case, it's our Hotshot node, to get details of a specific of a specific endpoint. And so what happens is I will set that just a second. Oh yeah. So what happens is I will set that as the URL, and during relay time, Hyperlink relayers picks the message from the Hotshot endpoint and calls verify. So what verify does is it verifies whether the transaction hash that was initially sent along with the payment for settlement. So as I said, this user is currently having his assets on Tachyon, but he wants it on Arbitrum. So when he bridges to the Arbitrum chain, what our contract does is it reads from Hotshot using CCIP read ISM, and basically checks whether, hey, is this settled or not. So that's what, right? Confirmations are like, hey, before like the settlement actually happens, you know what, it will happen at one point. So that is where CCIP read ISM and like Hotshot comes into play, and he'll be able to immediately settle on ChainX. So that is where we're using Hotshot. So I have like scripts for it. I'm not deployed like a front end for this. That is the next step. And soon this is supposed to behave like Superfluid. So Superfluid is an application where you can stream tokens, right? So instead of that happening on, it's not chain agnostic. So they deploy on basically like a single chain, and you can only stream on that chain. So instead, in our application, what will happen? The streaming will happen on Tachyon, but as soon as the payee wants to settle, he'll be able to settle on whichever chain he wants very quickly. So that is why the name Flash Payments. And yeah, I've done like scripts to basically deploy and fetch the balances. So upon deployment, we are able to like set the IGP, the mailbox, and the ISM, which is a custom CCIP read ISM. And once relayed, when we check the balance, we see that like there are 400 tokens on Tachyon, which later they can settle on whichever chain they want. So that is about it. And the end goal is like, again, payment services as well as streaming services, payrolls, and so that like retail can easily adapt blockchain payments as one of their main sources of like income. So yeah, that is a market opportunity over here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know if anyone on the backstage. Okay, Ellie has a question. Let me bring her in.
Hey, yeah. So I was wondering when you are, so I understand that the tokens can be streamed out of Tachyon. I was like wondering, how do the tokens then get into the Tachyon rollup? Is that also through an intent solver, or is that through like a native bridge, or what?
Oh yeah, it just uses Hyperlink right now to bridge to Tachyon, but it will use intents upon a later stage. But yeah, right now it's just using direct dispatch and handle.
Okay.
Any other questions from the judges?
No, I think we're good here.
Sean, do you have
a question?
Actually, it's not necessarily. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My question would be more like maybe people haven't asked that question, but just like out of curiosity, what were kind of the main challenges that you faced when you were building your product, and how did you go about it and found solutions to that? What was the biggest challenge in the entire building, this 3 weeks building phase?
Oh yeah, I was working with the ISMs, which is not like super easy to understand. So the CCIP read ISM was not like super comfortable to work with for reading off-chain components and then verifying it. So that's probably took most of my time. Yeah.
Okay, nice, thank you.
And so on top of this, how you feel about the payments and the need for the solution that you thought about building for this hackathon? How did you arrive at this?
Oh yeah, it's very basic. Like I've been working with a lot of payroll protocols like lately. So that's when I realized like they're all like either like on one chain or they're not on multiple chains. And that basically means like, hey, if your employees choose to have like use a different chain, it's very hard for them. So, and that also as a like a merchant, right? You need to support multiple users from multiple chains if blockchain is going to go mainstream. So at one point, payments is going to be one of the major requirements of blockchain, and we need to make sure that every chain is like adapted. So that's how I thought of like, hey, payment solutions, but interchain and super fast.
And how would you say like the acquisition of merchants, and which kind of merchants would you go first?
Ideally, I'm just looking at institutions right now where like payroll is a big requirement because there are n number of you, like it's a 1-to-n setup. So like if the n or the other side, the payee are on multiple chains, that's where this will be very useful. And for merchants, it can be anybody who's trying to integrate to blockchain. So it can be retail, or it can be just one-to-one payment. So if I want to pay you, the thing is if I have to pay it to you on Arbitrum, I have to make sure that I have funds on Arbitrum. So, or you need to have funds on Arbitrum. So that's what we want to change.
I like about the constant payment as well, because sometimes you have like subscriptions or have recurrent payments.
Yeah, streaming is going to happen.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, token streaming is basically like part of payments as well. So that it can be like vesting. It can be part of vesting. So token streaming comes under vesting and also lockups, as well as like constant payments for subscriptions, or like you have multiple like what do you call it, subscriptions, right? Like Netflix or YouTube. So they can do it on blockchain if they want. So yeah.
Nice.
And the thing is, the dynamic streaming itself happens on Tachyon rather than every other chain. And when a user wants to settle or like wants to withdraw it, he'll be able to do it very quickly. So that's the idea.
No, I totally agree with you. And thanks for adding more details to the presentation and bringing so much insight on the payments world for us. Really appreciate the project and the time building. We're going to move to the next and final one. So this is the second Buy Me an Espresso. So we are going to be glad to have here with us Patrick, that's going to explain a bit more about cross-chain tipping for creators. Patrick, feel free to just take the stage and go from there.
Yeah. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, and got your screen
well.
up as well.
Yeah.
So take it away.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, I'm Patrick. Thank you for having me. I recently graduated from my master's AI, and so I've been traveling and doing some web dev freelance work. And I think this is probably the last hackathon before I start looking for a real job that's a bit more related to my degree, unless I can build this project to a production level app, because I do think it has value. So what did I create? I created Buy Me an Espresso, which is a creator monetization platform as well, similar to the Buy Me an Espresso that you already saw. Maybe we should have teamed up for this project. So why did I build it? I wanted to challenge myself a bit because before this hackathon, I only vaguely knew what a roll-up was. And I also wanted to build something that already had proven value. So like buy me a coffee. And then this app can solve a couple of problems. Like for example, there's a lot of cross-chain fragmentation in Ethereum. So making profiles to each other is not always as easy and as smooth as it should be. And then there is also the rise of autonomous AI agents like Eliza AI XBT and Luna AI. And there's the need for a monetization system for those as well, for the users and creators of those agents. So what's the solution? Buy me an espresso. It's a cross-chain tipping platform where you can where you have fast confirmations by using espresso and open intents. And then there's a UX with real-time feedback of what's going on. And it has also special contracts for the revenue splitting between the AI agents and the users and creators of those agents. So let me talk a bit about the architecture. The front end is through Next.js and using Veeam for contract interaction. Then the rollup is deployed on Google Cloud VM. And so the pipeline for the transaction is that the user sends an intent to the source chain, which is the rollup in this case. And then the hotshot verifier creates a message. And then I did it a bit hacky for this hackathon. So I use a Next.js route to fetch that message. And then it will be sent to a contract on the Arbitrum Spolia, which will then send the funds to a wallet. So the key features are cross-chain tipping, intent-based transactions, AI agent support, and a caffeinated rollup. So let me show you the website as well. So this is the homepage. I'm already logged in, so I can visit the dashboard immediately. But this is normally where you also create a profile. This you can all read on buymeanexpresso.xyz, but I'll show you a bit about how you can easily share your profile. So you will get a link with your username, and that will bring you to this platform in order for your supporters to easily get a payment. And then I'll also show you the dashboard. This is all mock data, but this gives you a general view of what it will look like. And so then there's also some analytics as well. And then you have a profile page where you can set up or you can update your profile. That will be in the link that you send as well. And this is how you create a profile, and then you can add more information. So let's actually send a tip as well. So this is the tipping page. Let's do a cross-chain tip. So currently it can only be done with ERC20 token on the rollup. And so there's some configuration how to set up the rollup in your wallet. And then let's actually send a tip. And there we go. And we confirm it. And we should be brought to the transaction page where you can see the transaction hash. Let's check it on the rollup if it's there. And there we go. It's here. And so right now the rest is done in a hacky way by sending a Next.js route to fetch the message and then send it to the contract on Arbitrum Spolia. And then this is also, if you're not a creator and you're just a supporter, then you have a different dashboard where you can keep track of the tips you gave to your creators that you support. And then let's go back to the presentation. There we go. I think I'm already a bit past my time, so I'll skip a bit. Let's go to the next steps. So I need to add a real relayer as the first step for a secure cross-chain transaction, because right now it's not secure at all. Then I also need a more solvers in order to do this. In another project, I also worked on an AI agent that can do bridging between Base and Polygon, so that might be added. Then I need to add more chains. I need to do a mainnet deployment, and then add subscriptions and an SDK as well. And then if everything is functional, I can also turn this easily into an app like Venmo, where users can make real easy payments cross-chain. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'd like to thank all the mentors as well for all the tutorials, because they were really helpful. I know a lot more about blockchain now and about rollups. So yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thank you for that. That was great. And I loved loved the bear.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true. This was the video where the bear is singing.
True. Yeah. But I didn't have time for this demo to do that.
Okay.
So we have Jill, Yana, and Jean with questions here. Jill, do you want to start?
It's a lot of J's.
Yeah.
No, this was great. Thank you so much. I know you've been listening to all of the others, but yours was a great note to wrap up on here. Thank you. I'm curious what your next steps with this would be, either with the build out of the actual application, or upgrading some of the infrastructure things that you mentioned, or indeed start doing user testing. Where would you go next?
Yeah, first I have to upgrade the architecture, definitely, because right now it's not using a real relay. It's like using a liquidated wallet that has funds on both chains and then just sends the funds to the user wallet. So I need a real relay, like a Hyperlane mailbox, for example. And then after that, I also want to add more solvers so that there's more chance for a transaction to go through. And then I can look at like a mainnet deployment to actually make it easy for users to use the app in a secure way. So that's then when I will do the marketing. Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan. Excited to support you with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can go next. I second Jill. This was a great presentation. I do have a question, right? Like, so if you're thinking beyond the hackathon and the technical aspect, and you are thinking of, really driving adoption of this product, where do you think you will face the biggest hurdles in trying to gain traction?
Well, it's always hard to get users, but I do think it's less hard with an app like this, because the users are supposed to gain by using the app. So, and it's not hard to create a profile, and they can just put it on their profile. So getting the first couple of users is probably hard. And then after that, when the app is more known, it will be easier, I would say.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop on that question, because you went very quickly over the logs at some point. So when you did the transaction, then looking for the confirmation, were you reading from just the query API service, or did you set up a CAF node as well for that?
I do have a CAF node as well, but I was reading from here you can see it. This is the CAF node, but I'm reading from the query API.
Okay. So you're getting the submitted transaction. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. That's good.
Thank you so much for answering all triple J's judges' questions, Patrick. Thanks for finishing with this great presentation. The way you just hack even like the components on the product. I think very nice that you could even go from CAF node to also our query service. This is great. I'm gonna finish and wrap it up here and give like a little bit more details in our next step. So maybe we're gonna remove everyone, just let you and me on the stage and talking about how is gonna be the next steps. Thank you, Jana. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Jean. So we had today the pitch day, April 7. Thank you all the hackers, all the builders, all the judges, all the partners. Thanks, Waits, to be here, also moderating with me. Everyone that's contributed in any point. I think there's no ecosystem without hackers. There's no ecosystem without users. There is no hackathon without like an audience and a public to be talking to and to be contributing for who is starting on this very initial stage, initial step. So everyone here giving audience and way of these hackers and these projects to be heard is very important. From here, we are going to have 2 days to analyze all the projects according to the judging criteria that we mentioned in the beginning. And we're going to have the winners announcement on April 10th. So if anyone has any questions or would like to proceed, we receive a lot of people saying like, oh, even if I don't win, I want to keep building. So, you know, we are in the Discord. I'm sure like Rari wants to follow up with some projects or talk with a few of the hackers here as well, all the partners. So please reach out to us, ask us, demand from us. We are going to be announcing on April 10th, so this Thursday. And I think on my side, let me just move to the next slide. This is how we end this pitch day, and we can pass a little bit of words to you, and you can also make your closing remarks on your end. Maybe I can bring Jill as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Jill? Oh, Jill might have.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm. You know, I think that you covered it. I was incredibly impressed with all those cross-chain apps. I mean, it's really just showing how possible it is to have kind of a seamless user experience across chains, and it's really satisfying to see kind of the Espresso network and Espresso confirmations being leveraged in such a real way, right? I mean, unless so much to this point has been somewhat theoretical. So to be able to actually see it in action was very satisfying. And yeah, as you said, like we would love to keep in touch, keep active on Discord and keep building, and we're happy to support however we can. And yeah,
and that's it. Call it a day, and we're gonna be on Discord on the next days, or just reach us out, and waiting for the final results on April 10th. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you.